Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's 𝗙𝗶𝘀𝗰 here. Thanks for coming. As always, for the subscribers, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And in case you're new here, thanks for clicking on the video. Today's video is something that I wanted to share with you guys, and because I also talk about these things most of the times, I think it's very, very important that we get to listen to these kinds of things. Watch this clip, come back. It's from 𝗬𝗏, and let's talk about it.
We've got dollars, but what we need is sense. You know, when you count the mathematics and look at black people as a nation, there's 233 independent nations on the earth. And out of the 233 independent nations, black people at $1.3 trillion are the 8th richest nation in the world. Yet, we don't have anything in our community that we can call our own. So by the simple fact that we're the 8th richest nation on the earth, and we don't have our own educational system, don't feed ourselves, grow our own food, is a sign that we got dollars, but we need some sense. So I said we blame the white man for 95% of our problems, but we still spend 97% of our money with them. That's bass accurate. We do have $1.3 trillion in money. That's income though, and that's not wealth. So when the math is calculated, black people only possess less than 2% of the wealth of the United States of America. Income and wealth are two different concepts. Income is the money you earn by exchange of your time or the sale of a good product or service. But wealth is when you exchange that money for something that either keeps value or increases in value over time. Black people, we are the leaders in unnecessary spending. We buy stuff we don't need from people that we don't like to impress people we don't know. And at the end of the math of the equation, we end up having nothing but a whole bunch of name brand stuff, but never businesses that we can pass down to our children or real estate that increases or keeps its value over time. So we've got income, but we don't have the wealth. That's why I said we've got dollars, but we need some sense. Out of that $1.3 trillion, Brother Lynn, do you know that we spend $23 billion a year on clothes, $11 billion a year on furniture, $3.2 billion on keeping up with the latest cell phone that came out, $46 billion on cars, $60 billion on legal and illegal drugs, $32 billion dressing up the outside of our head. But when it comes to dressing up the inside of our mind, which is the purchase of books, only $300 million is purchased in books. So we should be investing more in the building up of the mind and building up of our character, getting the sense that we need to go with those dollars, so that when we marry our wealth with some wisdom, we can actually leave something behind for our children and our children's children that they can call their own. Black people's brains have been hardwired where we connect happiness to spending. We have to disconnect the wire in our brain from happiness and spending and take it from happiness to saving and happiness to investing. Do you know that rich people stay rich because they pretend to be poor? And poor people stay poor because they pretend to be rich. We literally are trying to buy respect, and we go broke trying to look rich. So when the math is done, I was talking to a brother in our barbershop one day, and I was telling him that when you have enough on the inside, you don't need the stuff on the outside to make you feel like you are something. And the brother, look, he verified the position. He said, you know what, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Me and my guys was out. We went to out of town, and we was on our way to go to the club. And whenever we start getting dressed, my partner realized that he had left his jewelry. And the minute that he seen that he didn't have his jewelry, I noticed that he got sad. And he didn't even go with us. Next day, I went down to the counter at the hotel room, and he was opening up a package. He had somebody overnight his jewelry to them. And when he grabbed the jewelry out, he took his watch, his chain, and put it on and told me, hey, I'm back. But he never went nowhere. Problem is that he felt a sense of worth from what he put on the outside of himself. But the real sense of worth doesn't come from the jewel you put on your finger, your wrist, or your necklace. The real sense of worth comes from the jewel you put in your mind with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, discipline, and character. We're looking for happiness to come from other people and other things in the outside material world, when the truth is happiness is an inside job. We need the ABCs. We need the phonics of finance, but we also need to learn how to understand finance, comprehend it, that we can use it in the real world.
As you've heard in the video, these are the things that I usually speak about on how we as a people need to get away, like on concentrating on other people and concentrate on ourselves as a people And I love that he talked about financial literacy. I am from Uganda, as you all know. In case you don't know, I'm from Uganda. And I would say, like, Ugandan people are very hardworking people. We are smart people. We love to learn. But I think we lack the financial aspect of it. And I would say a lot of Ugandan people are self-employed. And it also starts like at a very young age as well. You get to understand that the people that are mostly even successful are not even the ones that went to higher education. And it's not to say that we don't need education, but it's like the ones that started working at a very young age know how to handle money than the ones that literally went to school. And also because of our education system, I would say in the continent as a whole, is BS, really, because we don't really learn things that help us know who we are. And also, when it comes to the financial aspect of it, it's not something that is put on a lot of attention. It also goes to, let's say, in our families, a lot of our parents make us scared of money. They put this fear in us that money is somehow too hard to get, like you have to suffer a lot for you to get money. They don't make us associate ourselves with money, and like to associate yourself with money, you have to must have suffered to the extreme for you to make that good money. And I'm not saying you have to make it easy, but like the fear of money is also in us. And another thing I think a lot of us, let's say in Uganda, have is like we don't even understand banking systems. Like even for myself, I got a bank account when I was going to Dubai because I was told it was necessary. The fact that we use cash most of the time, it doesn't like let people know that it's easier for you to use like these other institutions for you to be able to save and make money in different ways, or like teaching us in investing is not something that is taught. Yes, we are told you have to buy land, you have to build yourself a house, you have to, have these assets. I do appreciate that aspect of it. But when it comes to like really learning about how to handle money, it's not something that we are taught a lot. And I don't think it's fine. I don't think it's okay. Like, I think we should be teaching ourselves that money is something that is easy to get and is something that we are able to manage. But I've also seen a lot of videos where people talk about how we as Black people, like this man said, we want to show off a lot to maybe fit in spaces. I am a victim of that. Yeah, I used to be. Not anymore, because now I'm a little bit cautious, and also because of the people that I'm surrounded with, I get to learn different things and how to handle money. I've seen a lot of videos where we as Black people are constantly buying things that we don't even need, but just to prove that we can afford those things. And there's a story I had about Oprah, that she went to a mall store kind of in Europe, and they didn't know who she was. So to prove her point, she had to pay and buy luxurious things just for her to prove that I can afford these things. And I don't think that is like the right way for us to approach like the world, especially because our money is given to the same people that we say are not people that like us to grow. Even in Africa, even in Uganda, I see a lot of people that go and buy things that they don't need just for them to show that they have money. I've seen it, I still see it. I see a lot of girls in my age that are willing to buy the really expensive things just for them to access places, and they are sleeping on floors without mattresses. Like, what kind of a brain is that? And it's something that is happening. I've seen a lot of videos as well of the biggest, let's say, superstars that we have in the Black community, the athletes, the musicians, the people that we look up to as Black people in like big positions. When they come out and speak about, let's say, injustice that they are going through, or they try to speak about some things that the other group of people don't agree with, they cancel their contracts, they are put in jail, they are somehow put down and broken down. So even the people that we look up to and see that they have made it in life, they are not free. Literally, all the celebrities I've seen are controlled, all the athletes I've seen are controlled. Every Black person that we see in big position is controlled, and they don't own anything, literally. What does that show us or show you as a person? And also, we as a people are always constantly proving points by spending unnecessarily just to fit in. It's not helping us. Every time you spend money in these big brands that are not owned by black people, and I'm not saying you should just support black people because sometimes they are not the best at some services, but then again, we should also like try to see the people that are in our community that are doing a good service and support them. So every time you get your money and give these big brands that are not owned by your people, you're literally taking the money out of your people and giving it to other people, because at the end of the day, when you give them the money, they will invest in their own things and they will grow. So we will keep on crying and cursing and having like these emotions all the time that we have, that we are not wanted, and it's not going to help us. He also talked about how black Americans are the richest group of people, are the richest in black people community. How you guys have the dollar, but you don't have the sense aspect of it. And not to insult, you do have the dollars because it's the biggest currency, I would say, right now in the world. So how are you using that currency to better yourselves in a community? Is it building you the generational wealth that you want? A lot of people are coming in the continent. A lot of people are doing different things and investing their money into assets that are fooling their community. So you as a black person being stuck there in the West with the dollar and not utilizing it is somehow going to cost you in the long run, as we see the world is changing and everyone is running to come into the continent where there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of potential for growth. I think that's something that you guys should look into and see if you are able to come in and start something. Please do. There's opportunities. I always encourage you on that. Learn about generational wealth. Like, I would say African people have a little bit of that, even though it's not on a bigger scale. Let's learn to teach our children about the financial aspect of life, and also education. Education is very important, and that's why I think we are so much controlled, because we don't even control our own education. This man said literally, we spend billions of money in things that are not important than education, than reading. I'm also a victim. Like, I rarely read and it's not okay. Like, now that I look into it, it's really not okay. Africa is growing and there's a lot of opportunities for you in the diaspora to do something in Africa. You have a lot of skills. Your skills are what we need in the continent. However small you think you are in terms of money, in the continent, you're going to have space for you to fit in just because of where you come from. And I think it's like the most important thing. The people that you're trying to prove, like I said, don't care about how you look like. They don't care about the jewelry that you have on. In fact, like he said, more rich people stay rich because they don't dress up to impress. They don't come out to impress anybody. And we, the poor ones, are the ones that are constantly buying things to fit in, and we go broke, and it's really not helping. So I really like when I come across this kind of videos, and I'm always like, why not share them with you guys so we can have conversations? And I think those small steps are those that are going to help us grow as a people, as a community. I do believe in that. I'm still learning, and I think a lot of us should get in that mentality and not like blame the white people, as this man said. Yes, we'll keep on blaming them, but we are the same people that keep giving them the money. We keep giving money to Chinese. A lot of Chinese things are in Uganda you cannot even imagine. Like, you can't imagine. So how are we going to grow if we get our money and we are still giving to the same people that we always come out and complain about? It just doesn't really make sense in that way. We complain, but we still act and support the same people we complain to. So let's do better. Yeah, guys, that is it for me in the video. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and in case you like what I do on this channel, the links are in the bio. In case of any support, I really appreciate it. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.